Nice.
That is definitely a great spot.
Always useful.
That's a great spot to get him.
Yeah.
Always useful. Always
Down
useful
south.
to have the good old boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you want to turn your Spanish friend in just because.
Some might say a small town.
Plus, when you're cold, they always have a fucking blanket on them. It's like, yo, can I borrow that?
Very true.
You know
It's
what I mean?
true. They're a
Good.
very winter-oriented group.
And you know how you have
with the flames and the sheets staying warm.
But no,
AJ's not really smiling right now. I'm like,
oh,
he's like, haha.
This got dark quick. I apologize.
Actually, it got light. It did not get dark. It got light.
Like, oh shit.
Oh.
I'm like, hold on, let me see your sleeves. I gotta see your tats real quick. My bad. I gotta make sure I can joke.
But what's up, people? We are here.
It's a good way to start.
Episode 132, Tekken versus Tekken 2. We have our awesome guest with us, AJ, who is always in the comments. Look at this shit.
Dadpool, baby.
Boom.
It's Dadpool.
AJ, aka Dadpool, all the good stuff. He's here. We're here. And we're happy
back.
to be here.
We took last week off because Aaron was too lazy.
No, what happened? The real thing was, internet got upgraded, had issues, didn't get a chance to do shit. They didn't want to do it without me because they were nervous. So they pushed it back. And we're here now.
I don't want to have to control things. I only need this way I can keep one hand off screen.
Oh, but we do have an intro for you guys tonight.
I'm very excited to see this.
Do you have it? It's already there?
It's already, as soon as you sent it to me, I downloaded it and I just started to upload it.
Giggity,
Another
giggity.
reason why we're a few minutes late is I was waiting for this shit to upload all the way.
He had to go pee too.
But that is true. That was for a dramatic effect.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. I'm coming. I'm coming. Winning this Tekken tournament. I heard to enter. I have to destroy Marshall. I gotta do what I gotta do. Hihachi, you know how I feel about you. I can't stand you. I'm going to destroy you. Destruction. Destroy law. Destroy Hihachi. Darty's here to take over. Tekken's gonna be mine. Better be worth it. I'm winning this corner.
Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective.
Here we are.
Ooh, that was great.
That's
Quick as
dope.
I could do it.
Nice work.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
what she said.
The only thing I'll say is just clip like that last 2.5 seconds where it went black.
Oh, I let it fade off the track.
Ah.
Sorry, that's kind of my style, dude. Too bad.
Did anybody see you guys? Did anybody see you guys filming stuff? Or were
Oh
like,
yeah, there
you
were
the
cops
only
out there, kids and shit, geese chasing us. Well, me chasing the geese with the camera.
Well, no, there really was. So we went to like you know where Cook Park is, right?
Yeah.
And then you know where the water is, like where the stage is, and then the water.
Vaguely.
Anyways, we went to the other side of that. There's like a little path and a bench. There was no one over there. I was like, this would be the best way. And there was kind of shade over there. And we did quite a few things. We didn't just do the Tekken, and that was just like that. Those clips were short. Like everything we did was longer than that.
There
But
was like
he just
5 other clips that I didn't even bother using or trying to use. I just didn't have enough time. It would have been like a 45-minute long intro, and I probably would have spent like 5 more hours on it if I would have did it exactly how I wanted to.
That was dope though. Like I didn't even see the edit. I just seen what we did. Hit play real quick. Check it out. Was it good? Yeah, we'll keep it. Go on to the next one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
$19.99, just like everybody else.
Shit.
Sound to work out
But
video.
if you buy now, we'll throw in the deleted scenes for an extra $5. Or no, sorry,
The
$4.99.
stuff that takes it from PG to XXX.
Oh
Is
no,
that
there was
what
no
you're
stuff like
talking-
that. You and James weren't in this video.
That's funny.
But that shit was fun though. I can't wait to do more stuff like that.
Tomorrow it's gonna be even crazier because because especially with the car shit, I'm so into it. Wait till you see I'm fucking done with that video, bro.
This Snyder cut of Popcorn and Pints intros.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I made the Pornhub version of it for Popcorn and Pints like 8 months ago.
He did.
Oh, what a weird way to get into the show.
Hey man, we enter in all ways that we got to do it. We do what we got to do with
That's true.
them. But we're here for Tekken and Tekken 2.
We miss you, James.
Yeah, James, hurry up.
James is home. He's out of rehab.
Yep, he is, which is good.
We're not sure what kind of rehab it was. Really, we haven't seen any proof
Of anything.
No.
He just kind of disappeared on us.
He did.
He's gonna come back like different, a new attitude and everything, acting all brand new and stuff.
That's true.
But yeah, hurry back, James.
Yes. Hopefully he's doing well.
So, gentlemen, let's start off with Tekken 1, of course.
Can I ask what's in your cup right now? What are y'all drinking on?
Water for me.
There we go. Some Snapple peach tea. No
Zero sugar. Zero sugar.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's summer shandy. Lining gurgles? Lining gurgles?
Okay.
I mean, gurgles.
I don't know.
So I got a couple things. I got some orange and grape Powerade, water, and a beverage called Malta by Goya. It's like a malt beverage that we, brownies love.
No, not all of us.
And well, shut up.
I've also got some Sloop juice bomb for
all of you who got the zero sugar in the water, this bottle of Malta alone has 38 grams of sugar. It's about 70% of what's for your daily. Plus, then you take my fucking Powerade, another 21 grams and another 21 grams per serving, and there's 2.5 servings per. So I think I'm good for the week.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
I think I'm good for the week on sugar.
Yeah, that would put me in a diabetic coma.
I just want to say that I'm not a fan of those Maltas, but I'm also not Puerto Rican, so I'm good.
Valid points.
Yes, very. So, AJ, we'll start with you because you're our guest.
All right.
I know you know how this goes. Probably better than we do, which is great. Review.
Let him run the show. Why isn't he doing the controls?
Why do you think he's in the first? He's in the first slot.
All right.
But
so for
Tekken 1, yeah.
Yeah, Tekken 1, I'm going to give it a solid 6. I mean, we actually had a tournament.
Yes.
Which bumped it to a 6. Some of the scenes were kind of corny, which took it away, but solid 6. If you guys can convince me any higher by the end of this, I'll go higher, but 6 right now.
Okay. Let's go right down the list.
I'm actually in the same boat. I was thinking 6 the whole way. This is, in terms of at least video game fighting movies, there is the actual tournament.
Yes.
The fighting was good. I'll get more into it, but yeah, 6. I thought it was entertaining.
I'm right there with you guys, all across the board. I was thinking 6.5 on this one. For the simple fact of the tournament, for the simple fact of how the nature changes for the second one. But yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I thought it was decently done.
So 6?
Yep, 6.5.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give it a 6 as well.
Sorry, guys.
Again, basically everything these guys said. Basically everything these guys said, which we're gonna get into right about now. The tournament thing was huge for me. Because, like you were just saying, it's a fighting game, tournament style fighting game, and they always just do some other shit. A la Street.
Well, I mean, making a video game into a movie is challenging for any game. Taking a game that's specifically just characters fighting each other and trying to make that a movie, I would think adds even more challenge to that.
It does, but I mean, even if you throw whatever type of story you want, just still have that tournament.
Oh yeah.
Think about again, you can think of like Karate Kid, Bloodsport. The main thing you remember about Bloodsport, I'll use Bloodsport, or the other movies he's in. What's the other ones? He's the
Kickboxer.
Kickboxer. Is the fight scene, is the tournaments. You don't really remember.
Alternate Bloodsport.
There you go. Want to see me do a split? Like, motherfucker, no, you don't have to do it every damn movie. Show off, damn. We can't do it.
That's funny.
I mean, do you get paid $1 million to do a split?
I can't do a split.
I think I at least played the first one or two Tekken games, and then probably have not played one since. So I have no idea who the characters were. I don't know if they were portraying them to their video game counterparts. The only thing I remember, Jin's had the pants with like the flames on the
Yeah.
legs there. I'm like that looks vaguely familiar. That's like most of the recognition I had
That's Jin.
from trying to
that's Jin.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
And then
yeah.
the guards he got later
In the guards, so like that is the only thing I had vaguely in my memory from playing the game early on. So maybe I had that working for me going into this. Like I don't know who these characters are because I don't remember them. Unlike Mortal Kombat, where those characters are just ingrained in my childhood.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like 99 was like my year. Summer, Tekken Tag came out. Tekken Tag was my game. Tiger and King, or Tiger and Wong was my characters. I'd pop a token, a quarter into the arcade. I'd be there all night playing everybody and just demolishing them. It's just, I think the characters for this movie were spot on.
Yep.
Just the way they looked. Heihachi may be a little suspect. Ben.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben? But overall, I mean, the tournament background scenes felt like you're watching, like you're playing the game.
Yep.
Because they had the scenic in the back. You know, the music, just the whole ambiance of them just standing off was like I'm watching a Tekken game come to life, which is a total opposite of what you guys had when you guys did Street Fighter.
Yep.
Oh,
There was nothing with Street Fighter.
no.
You know, even Mortal Kombat to a point. But no, just on the basis alone of being able to transform the game into a tournament to a movie, they knocked out the park, which automatically shot my rating up.
Yeah.
I do. Out of the fighting games, I think they set it up the fighting scene wise the best by far, and set in the actual settings. They had enough of a story to piece it together for an hour and 40-minute movie, or however long it was. I did think like the fight. I was expecting a little more from the fights though. They all seemed kind of short, like they were rushing through them a little bit.
And that's an issue with me for that, because I feel like instead of spending so much time on whatever hell story you're trying to put together, you should spend more time on the fight scenes, because that's what we come here to watch anyway.
Yeah,
You just have a little bit of story in between, or just have the fight scenes longer than what they were, more dramatic.
Exactly. So I was gonna say that, you know, the difference between like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and like Soul Calibers, they're all great fighting games, but they all bring something different to the table. And like Virtual Fighter and Tekken were always to me more of the like technical style fighting games, you know what I mean, versus them being the like cartoony like magic power type deal or whatnot. There was always more to me of the actual like martial arts to it, I guess you can say, or whatnot. So I
Soul
think they did all
Calibur
right
too.
with that. Yeah,
Soul
exactly.
Calibur, Soul Calibur was like my favorite game.
Exactly. Dude.
See, now let's talk this really quick, because I mean it stays with this topic, it stays with the subject of what we're discussing anyway, with video game movies. Or sorry, with video game movies, but I just want to talk about the games real quick. Let's talk about versus, and what I mean by that is like, what would be your guys' fun picks for like a video game versus? And let's stick with fighting games, and I'll start off with mine. It's actually one of the three of the things you guys just mentioned: Soul Calibur versus Tekken. Just because the styles of the game, the way the games are played and stuff like that, even the fighting style is similar. Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct, I forgot about.
Street Fighter. I couldn't think of another game like Street Fighter to where it's the same fighting style. I'm thinking of I don't know your guys' favorites for Street Fighter, but my favorite is the one Super Nintendo, Super Street Fighter. I don't like the newer ones. I don't like how they had it like with the Tekken fight style at one point.
They never captured what they did with Street Fighter 2.
They never will.
Yeah.
Well, then again, arguably though, the best one is Third Strike.
I've never played that one, I don't think. Or wait, no, yeah,
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Isn't that's on like PlayStation or something, right?
Yeah. PlayStation, Saturn, or not Saturn, Dreamcast. Just had the big 3 on it on the cover. It says Street Fighter Third Strike at the bottom. It had.
I'm
like
thinking.
Charlie.
I'm vaguely remembering the cover, but I don't remember the game itself.
Wasn't Altered Beast the fighting game? Like way back in the day for Sega?
No, that was a side scroller fucking.
Oh, okay. All right.
That I remember more than Street Fighter 3.
But Final Fight, Final Belt,
Okay.
Darkstalkers.
So those were kind of similar to Street Fighter.
Yeah, well, Darkstalkers had like the evil demon magical power entity type deal feel of that darker fucking goth feel. And then Final Bout was literally almost like a copy of like Streets of Rage type deal as a fighting game. That's how I always looked at it.
Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, I forgot all
that
about
was a great game.
And then later in life, I played it a couple times. I mean, everybody loves Marvel vs. Capcom, or what basically when they started doing the crossovers with Marvel and Street Fighter, or Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men versus Street Fighter, and all that shit, doing the infinite combos in the corners and shit. But Marvel vs. Capcom, like 2 and 3 for me, like fucking, I want to take you for a little ride. Fucking that shit's always gonna be ingrained in my mind, so that sticks with me. Just like Mortal Kombat trilogy on N64 sticks with me so much more than any of the other ones. It's like I have Mortal Kombat Ultimate for the Genesis, and I would rather go play it on the N64, even though it looked worse and everything. But it had more characters and shit. Like something about it just drew me to it. So you never know, really, like. You know what I mean? Why things are just gonna fucking hold their hold on you? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I love these things.
Go ahead.
I think Mortal Kombat's the only fighting game I stuck with on an extended period of time. Because I never got. I know I at least played Tekken when it first came out, 1 or 2. I vaguely remember Killer Instinct. I think Mortal Kombat was number 1 for me for a while, and then Street Fighter.
Oh.
But other than that, I didn't really. I don't know. I lost interest in fighting video games.
Did you? All right, I got a question for you, Chris, and I'm going to tell you. Did you grow up with like cousins or siblings around your age, like hanging out playing games with, or was it more with? You know what I mean?
Right, no cousins. I had a lot of local friends in the neighborhood, like bike riding and walking close.
Got you. So would you guys game together?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I'm only asking that because I know, like, if you didn't game together like that, maybe fighting games wouldn't be as entertaining because you don't have somebody to talk.
Well, I think that's why my Mortal Kombat kick lasted as long as it did.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense. Because I had just cousins, you know what I mean? Just growing up with people playing Street Fighter and all that shit.
My best friends all lived within a mile of each other.
Nice.
Maybe 2. So.
I do gotta say this. I gotta call out my younger brother again because this still bothers me a little bit. This motherfucker is so good at Killer Instinct, and he proved this again like 2-3 years ago. You know, with that game, you put in the best thing to do with Killer Instinct out of most fighting games is like it's really combo based. Say this is the Super Nintendo controller. This motherfucker do some wild 45 hit combo to beat you, set the controller down, and walk out the fucking room. And I don't know what to do in that situation ever. And it bothered me as a kid, and as an adult, I'm just like, this motherfucker did this to me in my house. Like, I wanted to kick him out, but I was like, nah, he came over here to chill, and we're having some sort of party, Super Bowl or fights or something. But, yeah, so I'm still a little salty about that.
See, I think the one game we're forgetting, though, that was comparable to Tekken was Injustice. Injustice 2. I mean, you could play as Sub-Zero, Raiden, all the DC characters. I mean, that was a premier fighting game. At least comparable to Tekken on Mortal Kombat level. But the story mode was great.
Yep.
The character designs were great. The fight scenes were great. I would have loved to seen. There was rumors of an Injustice movie. I would have loved to seen that.
That would have been interesting.
It never came to fruition, though.
Punks.
That would have been interesting.
I think there's animes though. I think there's animes for it.
Probably. That's a lot easier to get those made, I imagine.
And they need to do more of that stuff.
Before we get back to it, have you guys ever played the Street Fighter X Tekken?
Yes.
Like I own it, and I still haven't played it.
I've only played it a handful of times because it just like it was cool. When it first came out, you try it out, boom, boom, boom. But again, like me, I said I'm a big Street Fighter fan, but I like the 2D style of Street Fighter fighting. I didn't like the whole Tekken style of fighting for Street Fighter. It just didn't work. It didn't fit for me. But it's not. It's also what I grew up with the one on Super Nintendo. So that's what I'm used to.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to fuck around with it one of these days.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Back to the movie. Tekken. Let's get back.
I like Jin. I did enjoy the character. I mean, I expected some cheesy acting and dialogue in this movie, and there was some, but it didn't really take me out of it that much.
Yeah.
This movie is what it is. It's a video game movie, it's a video game movie based on a fighting game. But it was done entertainingly enough.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
I,
They had some.
I think the best fight though in the movie was Jin's People's Choice fight at the beginning when to get into the tournament. I think that was the best fight, the cage fight.
Oh, with martial law.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad.
See,
at that.
I think that one had the most back and forth and dramaticness to it.
You're right about that. And it was the first fight. Yes, they could have did it with the first fight, but you knew he was going to make it in there. But still, yeah, they could have did it for the first fight. But they should have did it for more fights, and not just for his. Just like a couple of fights, just longer than what they were. And kind of have a little more dramatics to it. And go from there. Which, yeah, they could have did that part better.
The cast wasn't bad either. You had a pretty all-star cast. You had the guy from Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat, Kerry Tagawa. You had Luke Goss play Steve Fox, which Luke Goss is known for like Death Race and whatnot. And then Jin's mom, she was the Karate Kid girl from Part 2.
Was she really?
Sure.
Yeah, Tamlin Tomita. So you had a pretty good cast, and they played their character spot on. I looked it up just to make sure, and just to compare it to the gameplay, and they came with this movie. It's a very underrated gem, and people overlooked it. And I'm surprised you guys hadn't seen it when you guys were doing your video game wheel when I suggested it. I'm pretty stoked that you guys actually watched it.
I had never seen it.
I didn't even know Tekken had movies, to be honest. I mean, let me rephrase that. I knew they had the animated ones, because I've seen a couple of animated ones back in the day, but I didn't know they had the live action ones. So
no, was this a theatrical release and everything when it came out? I assume it was 2009 when it came out. I don't remember anything about it coming out.
I feel like we would see. I feel like had it came to theaters, I would have remembered that. I hope I would remember, unless it was like limited theaters, but I feel like I would have remembered if it came out in theaters.
I think it was a direct-to-DVD movie.
Because I remember getting it from a Redbox.
Okay.
Okay. The open call promoter that takes Jin on after he wins that fight looks like a Jason Statham wannabe.
Yeah.
That was all I could think about I forgot his name, the character's name. But this guy looked like he wanted to be Jason Statham so bad, or they were trying to portray him as Jason Statham so bad.
I think that was the Steve Fox guy. I think that was Luke Goss.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. His like mentor type of guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Guy.
Who, and they slowly make those connections to a deeper story with he was there with his mom and stuff like that, or he saved her life or something like that. And they bring in those connections, which was good enough I'm like, okay. They didn't overplay it at least.
No, they didn't. They definitely didn't. They mentioned it briefly here and there, and then that was kind of it with it, which I'm fine with that, because again, you don't really care about the story with these movies. Yes, you want something because you need a little something, but you really want some dope ass fights. You want some dope fights. Like Yoshimitsu, I was hoping he would have done the spinning thing in this movie, and he didn't. I'm like, oh, come on. You can't have him do that. And I do and spin around in a circle with his sword.
But the look was great, though. I mean, he looked good.
Yeah.
The look was awesome.
But that fight was too short. But I think something interfered. I think it was like a Attack at the Club. Something interfered that fight, though. I don't think it fully. Yeah.
Because that's when Kazuya was doing some shit where he's like, it has to be a death, just extra shit.
Which Kazuya, I know, Chris, you've watched Mortal Kombat Legacy. He played Scorpion in Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
I gotta watch those.
Yeah, same here. They're on HBO Max now. Someone said, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been on HBO.
And if you need, I got the Blu-ray, so let me know.
It's just like 5 to 10 minute stories on each of the characters, right?
Oh,
it goes quick. It's only 2 seasons, and maybe an hour and 20 minutes of your time, if that, maybe an hour. I mean, it's very
bad at all.
Smooth. It's very smooth.
That's like watching a movie, right? Watching a movie, like, oh, okay, cool.
I miss a little web series like that. I really do.
There's a good one every once in a while, it feels like, but not that often.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about these characters or if they establish any of these relationships in the game. Is there any indication Kazuya is Jin's father or in the game or anything like that? Or is
Yeah,
that something they added to the movie?
if I recall correctly, it was later. I think 2 brings out that there's the tie between them, and then there's the tie between what actually happened with the whole conspiracy of his dad's death or whatever. And all that shit. And then it starts to evolve from there. So that's kind of why, like, Dadpool the other week was like, "Hey, watch 2 first and then watch 1," because it kind of leads into and sets you up a little bit better for it in that order than it does. And they did the same thing in the video games.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't necessarily see that coming until like halfway through the movie. Only because he doesn't look that old to begin with, but Kazuya.
Yeah.
The sex montage he had was weird. That was an awkward 2 minutes or however long that went with just him in a hotel room banging girls and being angry.
Yeah.
That was, you gotta let it
These
out
were rated
sometimes.
R, by the way, which I'm like, I wonder what they're gonna do. Because there were some boobs, right? Were there some boobs in this one, or was it the second?
The second one.
Second
The second
one.
one was
Okay.
Second one was nice.
Second one had the titties.
Yes.
Second one got the extra points.
Well, that surprised me a little bit. I 100% expected Jin and Christy to have to fight once they started clicking, and they never made that happen.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
I'm like, that is the one thing I felt more confident in prediction-wise than anything else, and then it didn't happen.
And as a matter of fact, like with the whole tournament thing, like they had it going, then they had the interference thing, and then they just kind of like switched. Oh, because Kazuya was like, no, now this is gonna be the final fight right now, and then ended up getting his ass kicked when it was all said and done. And I'm just like, oh, why? Just.
Oh, by the way, Jin, he's banging that blonde girl early in the movie. What's Kara? Which, by the way, that's when they find him and they start attacking the house and everything. I don't know if I could stop. I'd have to finish, but I might have to risk it in that scenario.
Yeah.
But he forgets about her real quick once he meets Christy.
Quick ain't the word.
And then they literally show her kind of cheering him on in the crowd back home throughout the movie when he has fights. This is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Bro, he didn't even mention her, but like when he met at all, I guess maybe she was just a fling though. I don't know. Maybe they weren't really a thing. I have no clue. But then he said something about that moving away. Who knows, man? Who knows? Hormones are going crazy. You just got into a fight. Saved your life at some point. So yeah, but still.
Of course, Christy always had the top part of her ass crack hanging out of her pants.
That's for Tekken.
Was it? Is that how she's dressed in the game? I assume.
But I mean, if you watch a lot of a lot of video games with female characters in them are very, very sexualized, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, they created a whole what do you call
it? Volleyball thing.
A whole new physics in video games because of movement of boobs.
Wasn't there a spinoff of one of the games that was like a volleyball?
Yeah, from Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
I love
That's
that
what
game,
it was.
though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love that thing.
So yeah, they definitely did sexualize her like they did in the game. Well, the female characters.
Well, for better or worse, that is something that's in all the fighting games.
Yeah, it is.
When it comes to female characters.
You could even go to like Super Nintendo. I mean, again, Street Fighter, the way they tried them, with Cammy, with Chun-Li. All of them do it.
I didn't like the Jax look though. The Jax, they just didn't do it for me. Nothing like the video game. I don't understand them. I didn't like them.
Sometimes I feel like they just. I mean, with certain stories, it seems like, okay, we're going to focus on this character, so we'll give him the pants at least. And then everybody else, we'll focus on these 3 characters. Everybody else will just kind of just throw some names in there, throw some characters in there, give them the character name just to do the fan service. I'm like, okay, you can still make him look like the guy at least, man. Come on. You have great source material.
Yeah.
King would have been a fun character in this. I don't know how they would have pulled it off. I'm kind of glad they didn't. depending on how much effort they would have put into him. Depending on how much effort because they would have probably just had him king coming to the ring with like the mask of the what was it, a tiger or a leopard? What was it?
Was it a leopard or a cheetah? I forget.
I forgot. Whatever type of cat king was in Tekken, they'd have him come down with that and then just take the mask off and go in the ring and fight. I'm like, no, that's not who King is.
Well, he was rumored. There was rumors of him appearing. There was rumors of the kangaroo appearing as well. It never came. Never happened. I think it was too much. They didn't want to go cheesy. I think if they were going to do it, they wanted to do it right. They just didn't end up going with the king.
I think the best thing for these fighting movies to do, if you want, or fighting video games created in the movies, just you do it animated. You can make an awesome story. You can make awesome visuals, awesome fight scenes, all that stuff. Follow the tournament structure more so, and we're gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely gonna watch it, and we'll probably watch it a lot more. Where it's like, you played such and such before. You gotta see this, the fights and all that. But now you guys want to do this live action shit too much.
Yeah.
When I was watching this and writing down my notes, I wrote down each fight of what characters were fighting.
So did I.
I assumed there'd be something memorable from the fights, but I'm looking through my notes. Like, so Raven versus Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Goro.
All I wrote down was entertaining, but I don't remember the fight now. Like, there was nothing about the fights they showed that jumped out at me as memorable.
So with Eddie's character, I will say his fighting style, because Eddie's character is in the game, was very similar to that. Like that kind of
the capoeira.
Yeah, that.
But he shouldn't have lost though. He lost to Raven. Like that was like such a bad. That set the tone for the fights. Like I wasn't happy with. Eddie shouldn't lose. I don't know. I just didn't.
He's such a great character. If you're nice with Eddie in that game, he's hard because he's fast and does all that flippy kicky shit.
Yep.
He's one of the characters that it seems like it's hard to master, but if you can master that character, you're gonna fuck shit up.
Oh,
yep. But yeah, I agree. He should have won at least 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Here's a note I wrote down for Christy. Gives Jin blue balls.
Wow.
I think that was pretty clear after their clubbing scene.
Mm-hmm.
What did I wrote down for the Christy Nina fight? Short but okay.
That was short.
Yeah. Like I said, like these fights, I mean, the fights were good, but they were entertaining enough as I was watching them. But now that I'm looking at my notes, I'm like, I kept waiting for like some memorable move or moment to distinguish this fight from others or something like that, or to make it memorable. And I think that's a little bit of what this movie lacked when it came to these fights.
See, I think with the fights though, I think a little differently. I think, especially with Jin's character, you saw it was like a stage. So fights martial law, gets in. Then he fights Miguel Rojo. Then he fights Yoshimitsu. Then he fights Brian Fury. And then the final act, he fights Kazuya. So it was like you were playing the video game through Jin's eyes because he had the most fights. He had five.
I totally get that, but I'm like, these other characters have their own personalities, and I assume like moves that they're known for too, or something like that.
Yep.
And not playing the game, I'm like, there's nothing that really stands out fighting wise between these fights, or at least enough for me to remember which fight was which if I didn't write it down.
I can see that. I can definitely. I get it.
Like, everyone loves a great fight. When you're talking to someone about these fights, you're always referencing specific moves if it's memorable or something like that. And well, they were entertaining. I don't think any of these were particularly memorable.
Yeah.
Other than Sergey/Brian Fury rips Sergey's head off with spike chain. So Brian Fury was probably the most memorable fighter for me, actually. By the way, it's also dark that they go into the whole Jin's mother was raped and beaten storyline. Yeah, that's pretty dark.
I'm like, that's wild.
That happened.
That's wild. Didn't need to go there, guys. Didn't need to go there, but you did. Didn't need to throw that in the story, but you did. That's the funny thing about like with these video game movies too, is they'll just throw. I'm like, you do. Again, I don't know the Tekken game as well as I know some other fighting games. I played it here, and I played quite a few of them. I just never owned it until like my adult life, I believe. But anyway, like with the story, I'm like, you could read. Remember how when you're reading the moves, the little book that came with the booklet that came with the games, and it teaches you like just the basic moves and a couple moves, and but it tells you about that character, like where the character's from, and just a little story. I'm like, you could use those little stories, add on to them, and do what you got to do per character. But no, you guys are just like, oh my goodness, this actually we could do something with this.
So I think that would have convoluted this movie though, because I think it would have taken away from Jin's backstory, Jin's character, and Jin's future going forward. If you would have introduced the backstory to Eddie, to Christy, I mean, Nina, all of them. I think
even if you didn't do it with all of the, say you did it with like the top 3 maybe in a decent way, and then kind of connecting them later. I mean, they kind of did it with Jin, Heihachi, and what was it, June?
June was the mom, and Kazuya. Yeah.
Oh yeah, her too. But I just felt like it could have been told a little better. More.
No, I don't. This goes back to my idea of the Street Fighter that we talked about. Like, if you're gonna go build a fight, if you're gonna do a fighting movie, I think you gotta try and do a universe type thing. You gotta establish stories for these characters. That's what gives you the emotional stakes going into a tournament. If the end game is a 2-hour tournament type movie, and then you have all these some other movies or shorts and shit to build the story to that point. Like, really establish someone as an asshole. Like, they've ruined these other people's lives. Establish this guy, Jin, in this case, as someone who's gone through a bunch of shit and how he's trying to take control for the future. I think that would give this kind of movie a lot more impact.
And they do that with the animes. Like, it's been a while since I watched them, and I'm actually going to revisit them now because of the show and these 2 movies that we're talking about today. I'm going to go back and revisit them because from what I remember, they do go into a lot of detail. And it's obviously, like Story says, easier to tell a story with anime or animation because you can pull off the wild, crazy fight scenes or the images. You can do all that. So
I'll be right back.
I'm definitely going to revisit those and check them out.
Yeah, and just like you're right about that. And I mean, you have just like certain special moves where somebody's throwing out a fireball and this, that, and the third. It doesn't have to look all cheesy and CGI-ish when it's animated. You can be like, okay, I can stand there and make it look like the game. Not look like the game to that type of animation, but you guys know what I mean. So where you're like, I know what that is. I remember, oh, wow, that looks awesome.
Yep.
But I don't get it. And I know a lot of people say, well, anime may not do as well, but I think it would because I believe there is a lot of fans, I'll just say around our age range, that grew up with these games, and just would enjoy a dope animated version of these movies.
Like a fresh new take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not try it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're making all these games and shit.
It's crazy, that part that you were talking about with the whole mother situation. The animes don't even go there. You know what I mean? Like, the animes don't even go there. Like, show somebody bum rush the house or anything. You know what I mean? And then cut away. They don't even do that. Like,
some of the darker ones will, but I mean,
what I'm saying,
they'll also have more of a story with it. Like the anime.
What I was trying to say was, like, why did you have to go there? Not even the animes go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
There's the animes. That's another thing with animes, though. They do a better story. I know you could say it makes more sense because it's animated, but it's just like it's more than just that. It's more than just that. But I don't know. Live action, step your game up if you're gonna keep making video game movies, which you guys did great with Mario. And why? Because you made it animated like. You made it animated like. You made it fun. I know it's not a fighting movie, but still, like,
Mario also has a handful of characters to focus on as opposed to a fighting game.
But I mean that now I'm sure they're gonna make a whole damn Mario universe. They
absolutely should. I want to see more Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
right. Some Diddy Kong racing action.
Diddy Kong, yeah.
They did. I mean, they did have. I cracked up at where Diddy Kong was yelling something in the crowd, and they're like, calm down, Diddy, or whatever it was. Oh, by the way, when the other thing in this movie towards the end, where all the fighters are taken in, they have Christy being held at gunpoint by like 2 guards, while Jen is fighting Kazuma, or however you Kazuya. What was his name? And she literally gets the gun from one of them, shoots both, and then not a single guard comes after her. After that, like, was those the only 2 or 3 guards left in the building? Like,
pretty much, they had their own orders. They were told to stay in certain places. They were scared of Kazuya.
But going back to memorable fights, Jin's, the ending fight with Jin and Kazuya, where just the scene of him leaping off the edge. Oh wait, that was just Brian Fury. Speaking of memorable scenes, he leaps off the edge to just fucking break his neck with a kick to the head. Come on, man. That's the kind of memorable stuff.
That is, yeah. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Wow, that was a pretty cool scene.
That was a cool scene.
And I'm not even mad they didn't have like the Tekken-ish style fighting in it. Because I'm glad. I wish they did have that, but they had a tournament, so I
feel like they tried to keep it more grounded.
Peter, what's good? What's good? Yeah, you're
Hello.
probably
Peter.
But again, flip this and do it animated, then you can do all of that and really do the fans a great service.
It's hard to walk that line, man, to keep it grounded and try to portray what these characters are known for in, video games.
They could do it. I don't believe in them, but they could do it.
If you're going live action, it's hard to keep it grounded.
Yeah, well, yeah, live action. That's what I'm saying about. That's why I'm saying do it the other way. Do it the other way, but they don't listen.
Keep in mind, this movie was taking place in the year 2039. So when we get to talk about Tekken 2, I have a lot of timeline issues. So we'll get to that.
You know what? Actually,
wait, you mean you paid attention?
You know what the most believable part of this movie is? And we probably all believe it, so we didn't even bring it up. The world falling apart and it being ran by corporations.
Oh, you mean like now? You mean like real life?
Like they fucking nailed that part.
Before we were born? Yeah, that's easy. That's just writing about real life. They're just putting some other shit with it. Like, oh yeah, instead of doing slavery, no, we're just gonna have them in these poor, broken down places, and they have to get the Tekken tournament to get out, and all this other shit. But that's, yeah.
See, and that's why shit like The Purge bothers me, and that's why shit like fucking Get Out bothers me at times. I'm like, fuck.
Because of the
I can see I'm gonna have to switch to the other shitty laptop at some point. But let's keep going. I think the battery's getting worse on this thing.
You gotta just replace it, man. Still, Chris.
I had to, like I said, I had to put
all that.
I had some car fixes instead.
You did.
But what are we doing next week, friend? I'm sticking with my 6 on this, by the way. I think it was entertaining enough. It's a solid video game fighting movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my 6 as well. It was basically what you just said. It was decent. It did what it was supposed to do, I guess, to an extent. Not mad at it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at my 6.
Wasn't a complete waste of time. They did pretty well. It gives you some of the things you want to see from the game that you know, and some things that they just embellish a little bit. But other than that, like I said, it entertained well enough to keep my attention. So
yeah, and that's what it's supposed to do. I mean, at the end of the day,
still a 6 for me.
Still a 6.
Christy Montero was smoking hot.
Oof.
Oh, we don't even. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at my Tekken 2 notes. Never mind.
All good, all good. Facebook user, don't be sorry.
Take a pregnancy test.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm late.
Where's damn Weed Wolf?
Is that Mick? Is that Mick?
It has to be.
It has to be Mick.
He's starting with you already, man. He's starting with you already. Oh shit! But so next week, no wheel spin tonight because next week is this guy right here's birthday picks.
woo.
So
He's gonna be 99. Look at him. He don't look a day over 32.
That's true. It's all the booze.
here's
Kill that
his-
liver. That's the secret to keep aging. Kill the liver.
He's got the Johnny Depp formula.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Except I don't beat women.
Oh shit. But
He pees on the sofa though.
I have peed on a sofa.
so the first movie that we're doing next week is called, well, I mean, the first of the two, A Good Person.
I'm excited to see this. I haven't seen this. I chose this because I'm a Zach Braff fan. This was getting good reviews. The trailer looks really good. It came out early this year.
Okay.
And it has
And,
Morgan Freeman.
I'm looking forward to it.
And then Logan.
This movie's just badass.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so
Watch it in black and white. Watch it in black and white.
And honestly, after
Actually,
seeing,
right.
you know what put this back in my head, because I wasn't even thinking about it, is seeing the Deadpool 3 pictures pop up with him walking with Ryan Reynolds in their costume.
Nice.
did you keep your hands up like this?
No. Just one.
I think this was.
I'm watching another show with 4 dicks. Wow. Wow.
Oh my gosh. That's
You mean
fucking
8.
Hilarious.
Technically.
Holy shit.
He's just mad because he can't rub my head. That's all. He's just mad.
Ha!
He's just mad.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nah.
So Tekken number
It wasn't so
2.
good I'd be choking on it right now. Oh my god.
Wow.
Ooh.
This is just a wild, wild, wild thing. Talk about dicks, rubbing heads, and choking.
You know what?
Little head rubbing.
Not only that, if this wasn't so good, I'd be choking on it. I'm just like, what the hell?
Something wrong with you, man.
Already went there. But I guess we could dive into the early ratings with this one really quick, and then dive into our reasons why we gave it that. Chris,
Oh, I'm 3. Half of Tekken 1.
3.
2.
Ooh, give it a 2. 1.5.
You're making me feel like I was too generous.
Tres leches, papa.
Yeah, that one was. How do you start the way you started the first one?
Well,
What up, Journey?
if you're making a sequel to a movie that already came out direct to VHS or DVD or something like that, I feel like you're already in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a prequel.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
that also, I didn't realize that going to watch it either. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I don't know who these characters are. There's no clear indication that the main character is Kazuya until like 20, almost a half hour into the movie.
Mm.
And at no point will I spent this movie, I think, was fucking longer by like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
At no point in this movie did it lead me to believe that this could possibly be the same guy we see in Tekken 1. But just,
Yeah.
like however many years later.
And
Which-
this is supposed to be a prequel. He looks older in the prequel than in the
He didn't look anything like that. The movie ends with him. I get the indication he wants to go out and kill his dad. But clearly, if you after watching the first Tekken, I'm like, they've had a professional relationship for so long that he thought he was just going to inherit the company. He had lost that dream of killing him, basically, after he ruined his life here. Had the girl pretend to fall in love with him and stuff like that. I'm like, this just doesn't fucking work for me. It doesn't make any sense.
Nah, it just
It's
again.
different tax bracket, bro. It's a different tax bracket.
And then why no tournament? I know it's a prequel. I don't give a damn. You can have it be a prequel. You can still have the tournament. Jin knows about the tournament. He knows about Tekken.
The only other character from the game in this, other than Kazuma, or I just want to default to saying Kazuma for some reason, so I apologize. Kazuya. His father. What's the father's name?
Heihachi.
Heihachi.
Yeah. By the way, I remember his image, and that seemed more accurate than anybody to me.
Yeah, especially in the first one when he had the way his hair.
Yep, the white hair and everything.
Yeah,
they nailed that. Him and Brian Fury. Are those the only 3 characters?
Well, Brian Fury and Heihachi are the only 2 actors to play in both movies.
But are those
But
the
as far
only
as
3
characters-
characters represented from a game in this movie?
Chloe, to a point, Chloe was in, I believe, Tekken 8. She's like
Okay.
the schoolgirl, character in the movie. So I think that's the only. And the other one was kind of like a knockoff of Nina or Anna. So,
Yeah.
but they both gave an Anna and Nina vibe. It was a very weird character choice for this movie. And the minister,
Wait.
no idea.
What year was Tekken 2? Tekken 1 came out in 2009. What year?
2014.
Okay, so they waited 5 years.
They should have just not even did it.
We got it so wrong.
Let it as it. Let the one end as it did, and be gone, be good. You have something decent.
By the way, the minister looks like a wannabe Ron Jeremy, just like the promoter from the first movie looked like wannabe Jason Statham.
Yeah, that dude was just like, what the? I was like, who is this guy?
And he's implanting bombs in people and blows up the one guy. That scene was pretty interesting towards the beginning.
Mm-hmm. But oh, go ahead.
I just don't understand. I still don't understand. Like Chris, the other Chris, has the perspective of, man, it must be so hard to make a video game. And in my head, I'm like, how can you fuck up making a video game movie? You know what I mean? And yet we keep getting it over and over and over.
I don't know. We don't make movies ourselves.
I'm starting to believe maybe you might be onto something.
Well, what is it? Like, you need to create a story. You can't just cater to straight up fans of the video game. That's not the mass population. You need to cater to the mass population. So you got to have some kind of story to bring in people that don't know anything about the video game, probably.
See, but where has that got them for these type of movies? Nowhere. So I feel like maybe you pull in
At the time, nowhere. I think we've gotten better.
But they've also been making it more entertaining for, you know what I mean? They're pulling toward from, like, Mario is a great example of a lot of shit from that game, from that movie. They pulled a lot of stuff from the game in small ways. You had the race, the music, certain things with the music, the different suits that Mario, like, just different things they threw in there as, like, even though we're making this movie with this silly story that they have going on, fine, but still throw some things to pay some homage in a fun way that makes it work. They did that right with that. These other movies, it's like they ignore all that and just use the names of the characters and the name of the name of the game and the name of the characters. Then everything else is just like, okay, let's just. And the reason why I say you pull in the video game people is because, like, okay, yo, we go and see this. This movie's awesome. Then you have other fans of just maybe an action type film, or, yo, listen, I went and go see this. Went and saw this. Come check it out. It's actually a really good movie. Plus the fight scenes are freaking dope. Like, look at The Last of Us. People that have played through those games, which I haven't finished them, but who've played through those games, the first one especially, are saying, because, part 2 isn't out.
This is one of the best video game adaptations ever.
And that's what I'm saying. And what did they used? They pulled what they could from the game and then kind of made the story out of what they did, but they pulled a lot from the game.
That's another thing.
I know it's a different style movie. I do know that. I do understand that, but I'm just saying, like, that's the way to do it. I understand fighting may be harder, but
here's an aspect I didn't mention. If you're bringing a story to the screen, you don't want to give them the specific ending from the video game necessarily, or you need to find a way to recreate that, but in a new manner.
Yeah.
In a visual manner, as opposed to you sitting there playing a controller.
Yeah.
Like, Last of Us Season 1 ends pretty much like the first video game does. But they did it in a way, you got to figure out how to interpret that for the screen with people watching. For a story as opposed to people playing the game.
They still used a lot of that source material that drew the people in that played that game, beat the game, and loved the game. And I'm not going to say all, but a lot of those same people, ones that I personally know, that played the game multiple times, loved the game, watched the series, and loved the series.
It's the same reason people can't adapt movies or books into movies successfully and please all the readers of a popular book.
That's true. That's true. But again, there's a lot of source material with that. Even more, I mean, that's the whole book is source material, and there's words. So it's like, like there's
basically a
literal
script.
words. There's beautiful descriptions and everything. It's like, okay, there's lines. So listen, I just want to make this book into a movie. But I understand they got to break it down and all that other stuff. But some movies do it better than others when it comes to that. Some movies do it better than others when it comes to that. Of course, they won't be as good as the book because that's just not going to happen. But they seem to,
I mean, I think we're going in the right direction now. I think they'll get better as we go along.
The Sonic and the Mario and
Sonic was really good. Mario was really good. Last of Us was a great TV adaptation.
I didn't see the Sonic movies.
Giving us some hope.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is coming.
See what that does.
Hopefully they I don't know. It was okay.
The first one?
It was okay. To me, it was okay.
Again, but wasn't there rumors of them bringing the tournament for the second one?
I think it's going to be more tournament focused. I don't know.
If so, that'll help. If so, that'll help because again, that's why I went to go see the first one. You actually want to see the other fights, but it's like I want to see the tournament style thing of whoever that main character is having to go through this, but also seeing other fights through this or whatever. However you guys want to do that, but tournament.
Let's talk about Tekken 2 because this was in the opposite direction of good.
Yeah,
it sucked.
What about the scene? What did I write down here? Blows up random guy. Kazuya kicks shit out of. Oh, you know what? As bad as this movie was, I think some of the fight scenes were better.
Okay.
So there's the scene where Kazuya, when he first gets to this compound run by the minister, he kicks the shit out of these two guys with the sword and the blade. Mm-hmm. I thought this fight looked a little more realistic to me.
And there's that one nod that I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it was an accident when the minister kept questioning Kazuya, "Are you an angel? Are you an angel?" I immediately thought of Kazuya's devil Kazuya, which was the gene that his mom cursed him with. So I immediately thought devil. They didn't obviously go there and say devil, but I thought that was a cool nod if they intentionally meant to do that.
I hope so. I freaking hope so. But yeah, the Devil Kazuya character. Yeah, you're right about that. Holy shit.
Oh, plus there's this scene where he wakes up with the girl on top of him. I'm like, this seems pretty random.
Maybe she just fell and landed on him and fell asleep.
Yeah.
Maybe they both sleepwalk and just laid down.
And then what's her name is watching them from the distance when he looks over and he gets her off. I'm like, what is going on?
With what?
I don't know. It's like
weird.
It took so much away from the first movie as far as like, okay, you guys are making a sequel. And did you? Okay, quick question. I just did it like what I start doing with movies when I'm watching them, like I'm streaming or whatever. So I'll go, you can like once the movie's going over the credits, you can kind of do that highlight thing to fast forward. If you're not fast forwarding, you're just kind of highlighting to see if it's all credits or if something's in.
Yep.
There was actually an end scene for this. I forgot. Well, for the first one, I forgot what it was now, but it had no connection to the second movie. I'm like, what the? Why would you even waste that? Why wouldn't you go from whatever that thing was with Heihachi talking about some tech in his mind or some shit and go with that instead of part 2 of just some other shit of
the problem? I think part of that is you're taking a risk. You're assuming your movie is good. You're setting it up in case your movie is successful so that you have a direction to go in. When it doesn't work, now you got to do something else.
But the ending of 2 doesn't translate to 1.
Not at all.
And I mean, again, I'll go back to this timeline issue. I'm gonna bring this up. So, first one takes place in 2039. We know Kazuya. I'm gonna assume Kazuya is maybe 50, maybe late 40s, early 50s, maybe. I mean, he looked old but young at the same time.
Late 40s.
So Jin is 19 in this movie. So there's a part in part 2 when Kazuya goes to that like inn or hotel, and the guy's like, "Last time you were here, you fucked the place up or whatever." And he's like, "What did I pay cash or whatever?" He checks the register. The date was March 13th, 1956. It couldn't have been 2056. It just said, well, it was like 13/3/56. So I'm like, when did this movie take place? Because there's no way. If Jin's 19, that means he was born in 2010. I don't know. So, that didn't add up to me. And if he also was in the ledger, right above where it said KM, there was a B.W. Wayne, Bruce Wayne. It was like, I don't know why there was a nod to Bruce Wayne, but yeah, there was a nod to Bruce Wayne.
There's no continuity
at all
in these, even though this movie, even though you're making a prequel to a movie that came out 5 years ago.
Correct.
That you literally just needed to have on in the writer's room.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so this is the movie, huh?
I don't know. Something about this movie just felt like, let's just write it. It was clearly just a paycheck.
That's what I feel about it. And it's, again, it sucks as being, I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of Tekken, but I enjoy the game. I would play it now. Yes, but not a lot, but I'd play it now. And it's like, oh shit, they're making a Tekken movie? Let me go watch it. And then you go to see these, and one was decent. I'm not going to, it gave it a 6. One was decent. This one sucked. Part 2 sucked, but it's like, why? Why? Like, why not? Like, again, because... And again, going back to what I was reiterating what I was saying earlier about, they need to make these for the video game fans, because who else is going to go out and watch a Tekken movie in theaters besides a video game fan?
That's the problem. You gotta write a story that's going to attract people that don't know what Tekken was.
Yeah, but even still though, they're still not going to know what Tekken is.
They explain it in the movie.
But
that's what you got to get people's attention with the trailer to the point that gets them interested, that they look into it. Hey, it's a video game. That's the thing. You're trying to not only promote a movie, but a brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're not trying hard enough. I feel like it's just, let's take the title, let's take the names of the characters, a few characters. With the first one, let's do the tournament.
That's the way they chose to go. You can go 2 ways. You can take the names and try to crank something out just for cash, or you can try to build something to add on to the brand, which is the long game. You're playing the long game in that scenario, and people don't like to play the long game. Hollywood's money now.
Yeah, and that's what's got them all. Well, you know what's going on in Hollywood now.
Well, yeah, that's what. By the way, fuck. I think all those greedy execs.
Yes, greedy bastards.
Just pay the fucking writers and actors.
Yeah, and
pay the fucking writers, man.
Pay the writers, pay the actors. Like, you're over here.
You don't have content without the writers.
You don't. And then you don't have someone to do that content without the actors.
No. Half the reason that people know half the actors out there are because of the writers. Oh. So, I mean...
I'll say more than half. I'll say more than half.
But I was trying to... Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, though, if you want to do it like that. Just pay the people that make the movies. Just because you have the money, you don't have the talent.
The actors aren't writing the lines.
No, but they're acting them out, though. So I'll give them credit for that, of course.
Life, No, but somebody's got to write those lines.
Oh, yeah. I know. I agree. They need to be paid. I'm saying pay the people who make it. Pay the writers, director, all that shit. The actors. But the guy up here that's just sitting up here, the money guy, fucking go out there and prove you can do something.
That's crazy, right? That the person who actually has the idea brings it to you, makes it go to fruition because you paid for it. You reap everything, and they get that small little piece, and they just gotta be grateful that you fucking were standing there.
Douchebag from Disney, Bob Iger, is getting $30 million bonuses, and literally all he does is say yes or no to having something made. That's
all right. Listen, Disney. I'll do that for way, way cheaper than $30 million to make sure that the creators get their cut.
So that's the problem, right? Because in the nature of capitalism, it's like, okay, you don't want to do it. Let's go find some other people who've got talent can do it. So then it becomes our opportunity because that's a come up for us. And the fucking trail just keeps happening. And then they do it to us. And then they go and get the next. Then they do it to them. And
it's a cycle.
Just keeps going.
Yep. And all this conversation has a lot to do with
We'll see what happens, but I hope it gets straightened out soon, man.
I think it will eventually. It's just once Hollywood starts losing their money, we're like, oh shit, no one's going to do this. No one's talking about this.
That's the thing, though. I like to see the actors and the writers united in their strikes. That's
Yes.
great. Actors, at least moderately successful actors, can get by, I'm sure, a lot longer than any writer without
Or at least
working.
most. Yeah, which would be now here would be a dope thing is if you top actors that have all this money and pretend you care about people. Now's the time to show it. Start backing these indie people. Start helping these guys, these writers out. Just helping them pay their bills and get through this shit so they can keep holding out. Start doing some indie shit. Start doing some independent shit. Here's how you can tell how good you guys are with your fucking shit. Start doing some independent shit where we back what we want to back, like we do with the indie movies anyway. And then boom.
Well, I think Mark Ruffalo came out and said that.
Yeah, man, I
wants-
was just
wants to
thinking
see-
that.
he wants to see people come out and do more indie
Mhm.
stuff. So we'll see if he actually steps up and
Does it?
shows up and does it. Yeah.
These big names need to step out and do it, but also bring along others that are under them, lower tiers, so to speak. Just
And that's the misconception. Not all actors are million and billionaires. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Some actors are barely scraping by,
Mhm.
bottom of the barrel. I've seen people post now like the residuals that they get. It's pennies.
It's
per
true.
episode,
Even
pennies.
actors you thought were successful and would have like $1 million in the bank, they're just getting by, basically.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wild, but no, that's what I'm saying. Like the big ones, because there is still the big ones that are just like, I'm good, I'm chilling, man. I probably won't even fucking act anymore anyway. I'm good. I'm great for fucking my kids are gonna be good. 97 years from now, I'm chilling. I mean those people. Like get up off your asses, help your fellow actors, writers, directors, and all that other stuff out. Make some indie shit, make some dope shit, and say fuck Hollywood. Make Hollywood treat you guys the way you guys all need to be treated.
More Nick Cage.
No more Nick Cage.
More Nick Cage.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. Yep.
Everything he does is gold, though. Like it could be the silliest movie. It's gold.
I don't know about gold.
It's gold.
I mean, most Nick Cage movies are 6 to 10s all day.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go on here and lie.
Chris,
Come on here and just lie.
would you concur?
Nick Cage is the greatest. Is that what I heard?
There you go.
You didn't hear it from here. You did not hear that from here.
Oh, funny.
So which one of you guys is gonna go back and watch Tekken 2 again?
Nah, I'm good.
I may watch it for the titty scene.
No.
That's about it. Because I love Asian girls. I don't know. I have a thing for Asian girls.
I love titties.
But there was a Scientology joke which I appreciated.
I didn't catch that.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't even remember. I don't.
I just wrote down Scientology joke.
You gotta write down more. Yeah.
I should have wrote down the fucking
Yeah.
joke.
Speaking of, did the Mission Impossible come out yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did I?
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I've watched the Mission Impossible since 1 or 2.
Oh damn.
Same here, actually. I think. Same with Speed, actually, as well. Speaking of just those type of films.
I don't even know what my notes here mean.
I tried.
I did
changing it
write
3
down
times. Sorry, Flip.
Don't.
Boobs, strip club murder scene. That was a good one. That was my note. Just boobs, strip club. Murder.
That's what mine says. Strip club, best scene. Laura, hot. But what happened with her character though? It was just so crazy. Like she went to being such a sweet little nurse to being brainwashed in 5 minutes by Heihachi, and she's making out with him, and then he kills her. Like what?
And what's oh my god, it's so weird because with Heihachi in the first movie, they make him like when you find out about him, he's not the bad one; it's his son. And the second one, he's the one doing it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And part 2 is supposed to be a prequel, so I'm like, what did he just change his ways? What's going on here?
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's another thing between these two movies. In Hitachi, he's like the first Tekken movie. He's like the old wise man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not giving you my company because I know you're an asshole. And then he is a total asshole and dirtbag.
In the first one, and then
ruthless in this prequel.
Yeah, which
You gotta go
It
through
is-
shit to get to those places sometimes. You know what I mean?
the two characters are literally the complete opposite of how they're portrayed in the first Tekken movie.
First and yeah.
And there's no explanation or no turning point by the time this movie ends to indicate that they are changing their ways.
Not at all.
You're gonna make a change.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna feel real good.
Went to Michael Jackson.
Well, man in the mirror action. I mean, you gotta have self-reflect.
Oh, by the way, this in fucking Kazuya, all of this entire movie was nothing but fucking. I wrote down walking in flashbacks. He's constantly walking these train tracks, and there's flashbacks of was it his fucking childhood? I don't remember. I just wrote down flashbacks.
Yeah.
He's like hearing his father's voice talking to him over and over again.
Oh, trying to remember who he is or where he came. Yeah. That's what it was. That's right.
Are you my daddy?
What about the two thugs at the end? Rip and Thorn. Rip Thorn. Rip Thorn. Yeah, that's what the kid is.
Oh my gosh. They just I feel like they made it did and again, I know Mortal Kombat it tried to do like a tournament thing, but it didn't do a tournament, the original one. But I feel like the first one of that and the first one of this kind of went in the direction of at least trying, and then the second ones were just like, fuck it. Especially this, because I didn't hate Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but this I don't like at all. Like the second movie.
By the way, they also killed the minister like super easy. Like they just walked in there and stabbed him. In fact, the scene started. The girl that stabs him was already standing behind him.
Yep.
Okay.
He's okay. Hey? Yeah, that's just again, man.
So and was it after they kidnap Dora and they go to try to save Dora? There's this big fight for them to try to get into this complex. It legit looks like a fight in someone's backyard outdoor pool area.
Probably was.
It looks like Kazuya is trying to just fucking fight these guys in someone's backyard around the in-ground pool.
Yeah, let me use your yard real quick.
Probably, hey man,
Susie, get out!
Yep.
Now, see, I wouldn't be mad if they came out with another movie that kind of filled in that gap between 2 and 3, and kind of explained where the turn between Kazuya and Heihachi went.
You need that, man, because this movie does not give you that
no satisfaction
indication.
It doesn't give you anything for it. Yeah. Again, you start out with a decent film, and then you just like, oh shit. It's like you had a good script written too, maybe, and added the tournaments, and then just grabbed the wrong one. Like one of them stupid ass cartoon things. It's like,
there's no stakes. Answers. There's no stakes in this movie.
Here's all the wrong answers. Take me.
And I also don't get why this Dora chick made out with the father before he killed her.
She was like under a spell. She was brainwashed.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. But also, the most action in this movie is the final fight with Kazuya and Brian Fury and whoever this other guy is. Mm-hmm. That's literally the most action in the movie. Like that. Actually, that fight scene was longer than any fight scene in the first Tekken movie, probably.
Again. Stick to animated, guys. Just stick to animated when you're making, especially with the fighting movies. Maybe you can get away with certain fighting games. Maybe you can get away with other types of games, but fighting, just do it. If you're gonna make it a movie, just do it animated. Just do it animated, because you guys are just striking out bad with the live action, or you're making like halfway decent to maybe okay at best. You're not making like, oh shit, I gotta see that again. Like the Mortal Kombat movie that came out a couple years ago was cool. I watched it maybe twice, once because it came out, two because of this. Yeah. Well, I watched it again, maybe just to see if 1 and 2 actually connect. But other than that, it was cool. So animated, because animated shit, Scorpion, the animated version movie Scorpion thing that came out a couple years ago. I know I only watched it once, but that shit was fucking dope. Scorpion, what is it? Scorpion's Revenge or something?
Scorpion's Revenge, yeah.
I believe that's on HBO Max. Go check that shit out.
I don't know that.
You would like? I think you would like that. If you like animated stuff,
I gotta check out the legacy stuff. I've got the next few days off, so maybe I will.
You should. You definitely should. I don't have too much more to say. I don't know about you guys, about these
No, man.
movies.
The ending makes no fucking
It
sense. It just doesn't. Like, Kazuya figures out his father's been playing him. He set this girl up that he fell in love with. She's against him because she's working for his father. His father is standing. The last scene in the movie is his father kind of just standing outside, overlooking the city, saying Tekken is mine. And now this guy and Kazuya's. The indication is he's leaving with this other broad to go kill his father, basically.
And then
And now if you go to watch the first Tekken movie, he's clearly been working for his father. They're on okay terms. He thinks he's going to take over the company. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yep. And there's no explanation for it either way.
There's no in between, just like Deadpool said.
There's no in between. Maybe next time they'll think, okay, animated. So go watch the animated versions of the Tekken movies too, because from what I remember, they were pretty cool. And I'm not gonna tell you not to watch a movie. I've never tell you not to watch a movie, but I don't recommend these ones at all. Even the first one, it was decent, but if you want to watch it,
I was gonna say if you're gonna watch one,
if you're gonna watch either,
might as well watch the other.
If you're gonna watch either,
just to know what we're talking about.
If you're gonna pick one, go with one. If you're gonna pick one, go with one.
And they're not long movies, so it's only 3 hours for both of them total. Yep. So it's not like you're killing a whole day.
It felt like it because I watched these back to back. But you're right. You're not.
You did have 2 weeks.
Listen, that's not the point. I gotta watch them I gotta watch them together. Because the reason why I watch some movies back to back like that when it's the sequels, because sometimes they do actually, go through with it and kind of connect it and stay connected with it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, and it's real fresh. Versus, you could have just watched these movies. Shit, I just watched Tekken and fucking some other shit.
Hold up, did I just see what I just saw over your shoulder?
Mine?
What?
In his shoulder, he's cycling this awesome ass slideshow.
Yeah, I got the slideshow
just now. I was like, yo,
it's my backdrop. There's like pictures of me and Xander dressing up as Jason one year.
I like it, bro.
But we got something for y'all at the Sci-Fi Horror Fest. We got an outfit tandem that you guys are just gonna definitely want to take some pictures of.
Oh shit!
For real. We're working hard on it.
That's awesome.
I'll be there, man. I'm planning on being there that Saturday for the day. Are you guys going both days?
We're going. Friday? Yeah, we're going to the Hero and Villain party on Friday, which is the main reason why we're do the cosplay. But we're going to probably dress up Saturday as well.
Awesome. So I'll definitely see you guys.
That's
Saturday.
Awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
That Saturday, yeah. Because do you know Matt? Matt?
Yeah, he just added me on Facebook. We've been talking. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my guy. I met him. Actually, I met him here. He lives out that way more, but I met him here when Robert Englund was here in Albany a few years ago.
I didn't know he went to the same high school as me. It's crazy. I don't know how old Matt is, but he might have been in my grade, and I might not even know it.
That's crazy. Well, we'll make that connection. One of those late Source 30 nights, you're gonna have to come on. I mean, I don't know what you're doing this next week, Friday.
Oh, I'm gonna be watching, so I might as well be in it.
Exactly. Hop on and review it.
I love it.
But I guess we can get this one wrapped up, gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you where you can.
I'm ready for my birthday pics next week.
Ooh.
What do you mean? But I'm not sending you any pictures, Chris.
That's what I was talking about.
Chris is gonna send you something, James.
I know.
No, Mick will. Mick will definitely.
Yeah.
Mick's a big guy.
What am I sending?
Chris wants you to send you
left or right.
I'm sending mushroom pics to everybody.
No mushrooms.
That's how I celebrate my
Portobello?
Here we go again.
Magic Cap?
Oh shit.
Erect mushrooms. Erect mushrooms.
Oh my gosh.
Not the ones that turn us into the Last of Us zombies, right?
Super bad. That was a funny movie.
Drawing dicks. I'm just drawing dicks all day. I'm just drawing big dicks, little dicks.
I might have to watch that tonight.
Yep. But, when you watch, you know what you need to do is when you watch it, tag Mick, say thinking about you. You know why? I know he's seen the movie before. He'll get the joke and the reference without even putting the whole thing in there. There we go again. Here I go again, man. I didn't even mean to say it like that.
Yeah, you did.
I really didn't. And then it... Never mind. Oh,
Lord
shit.
have mercy.
Yes, but
I'm
we're
good
going to
on
get
that.
on out of here,
I'm
guys.
good on
Listen,
that.
you can follow me at... Go to horrorsourcestudy.com to get all my links.
Nah.
Store Bar, you want to tell them where they can follow you at?
Everywhere.
There you go.
Creeper.
How about you over here, Dadpool?
You can follow me on Twitch, Dadpool AJ, YouTube, Dadpool on YT, Dadpool on pretty much all the other social media platforms, and Xanderpool Gaming on YouTube. Let's
Boom.
go.
Go check
Let's
out
go.
Xanderpool Gaming.
Check out his merch.
I was just looking at that shirt. I was like, uh-oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then where's Dan? Where can the people, lovely people, find you?
Everywhere you can imagine with that tag, worst damn gamer ever, EVR on the end. Hit
Reggie.
the YouTube, hit the follow. Oh man,
Yo, you gotta show, you gotta drop that in the Popcorn and Pines group chat to show James and Chris that.
Oh, I will.
And don't forget to follow Popcorn and Pines, of course, people. Thanks for popping by. We're gonna get out of here. Peace, peace, peace.